Hey everyone, it's Kimberly with I Dream a Lot. I am back. So I have been in California for 12 days visiting a family. That's where I'm from. And I was also on thrifting restriction before I left. And I'm still technically on thrifting restriction because, as you guys know, I'm trying to downsize. So I'm trying to get rid of a lot of my older inventory. But I do have a thrift haul for you, a California thrift haul. That's interesting. We'll go through that and talk about that later in a separate video. Today, I am here to talk about what sold for me while I was on vacation. I sold 12 items despite my eBay store being on vacation mode. And yeah, so we're just gonna kind of go through that quickly. I was gone for 12 days, so basically I sold one item a day. So let's jump over to the laptop and we will talk about it. All right. All right, guys, so let's start with some numbers. I have some numbers here for you. So I sold, like I said, a total of 12 items, and the total dollar amount for those items, including what the buyer paid for shipping and tax, was $385.95. Now, if we remove the tax, because everyone knows we don't see the tax, that's something that eBay thankfully collects for us, and that's something we do not have to deal with. So without tax, it was $366.71. Okay, and if we take out eBay fees, that was $51.27. So that's, final value fees. And then I paid a total of $74.93 in shipping labels. I do want to say that, and I don't know if this is for everyone who sells on eBay or if it's only for sellers who have an eBay store. I do have an eBay store. I'm also a top-rated seller. Anyhow, I do get a discount on shipping labels. So, for example, I just want to give you these numbers. Buyers paid, so the total shipping amount that all my buyers paid for those 12 items summed up to $105.10. So that is what eBay collected on my behalf, just for shipping on those 12 items. When I went to purchase all my shipping labels on eBay, I paid a total of $74.93. So there is an additional $30 there that basically goes into my pocket, so to speak. Now, eBay fees, you are charged, I believe it's 30 cents per item plus about an additional 12% on each item. And the 12% is for the total amount. That includes the amount of the item, tax, and what the buyer paid in shipping. So that total sale. So if somebody buys a $20 item and they pay, I'm just throwing a number out there, 10% in tax, that would be $22. And then let's say I charged $5 for shipping, that's an additional, actually they would pay tax on the shipping too. It's kind of crazy. So it'd actually be, if the item is $20, I charge $5 for shipping, that is $25. The buyer is then charged tax if they live in a state that has sales tax. So let's say it's 10%, that would be $2.50. So now the buyer pays a total of $27.50 for their item. I, as the seller, am charged about 12% of that total amount plus an additional 30 cents. So anyhow, I just wanted to throw that out there. So I I receive a discount on shipping. So because I'm buying my labels through eBay. So I made an additional $30. So after everything is said and done, what went into my bank account was $259.75 for those 12 items. I paid an average cost of goods $4 per item. So that, where are all my numbers? I believe that would be 48, right? 12, yeah, 12 times 4. That would be, yeah, 48. So if we take out that initial $48 that I spent on these 12 items, I'm still over $200 in profit. So basically, I took out $48 in my account, bought these items, and then I put $259 back into my account. Not too shabby. I'd like that to be a little higher. I would love to be at least 8 times my money after everything is said and done. But right now I'm kind of hovering around 5-6 times my money. But as you guys know, I'm getting rid of a lot of older items, and you will see here that I accepted some really low offers. So while I was on vacation, I made about $250, which basically covers my parking at the airport. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, let's jump into it. So the first item that sold while I was on vacation is this vintage Erica women's 3X blue denim embroidered cottage core dress. This was from the 90s. It was in excellent condition. It had this little waist tie in the back, and it sold for full price, the price that you see there, $34.99. There's the label. The brand really doesn't matter. In fact, if you wanted more room for this title, you could take out Erica, the brand of the dress, because you're going to put it into item specifics anyhow. So if you wanted to add more characters, such as, I don't know, you could put in teacher. That's another keyword for these style of dresses. Modest is another keyword. So you definitely have that option. As you see there, I didn't spell out vintage. I just abbreviated with VTG. The eBay kind of search engine, I guess you could call it, does pick that up. And so you are okay with putting in VTG. Now, some things you need to spell out the word, but with VTG, you are good to go. You're safe there. A lot of times I spell it out, but I think on this one I didn't have the space. Anyhow, this was a plus size dress, which is always helpful in terms of sell-through rate in these style of dresses. But these style of dresses do also sell in smaller sizes. And this had like cute buttons, and then this kind of cute waist tie where it buttons in the front, and then in the back you just tie it in the back, and then it had this floral detail along the neckline. So that was a great sale, full price, and I listed it on September 25th, and I believe it sold on October 13th. So that was on just for about 3 weeks. All right. The next item is this Gap women's size 14, and this is that tartan plaid, that black watch tartan plaid that I talk a lot about. This type of plaid does very well, especially in the fall and winter. Yeah, I probably would not pick this up if it wasn't new with tags. just because it's just Gap, but it was a size 14. But as you see, it took a while to sell, but honestly, that was probably because I listed it in the spring. So yeah, maybe if I would have listed this, say in September, you know, it wouldn't take as long to sell, is what I'm thinking. So I don't know, if you found it in a larger size and it was in pristine condition and you could get it for just a few dollars, sure, go ahead and pick it up. But this was new with tags and it only sold for $20. The next item is an item that I showed just a couple weeks ago in a thrift haul, and this was a vintage dress, like kind of 60s, early 70s. The top part kind of was like a sweater knit with this polyester polka dot collar. It was like an ivory or beige and brown. It did have a couple of stains on the back. I took pictures of that. I indicated that in the description of the listing. So there's the stain there. You can barely see it. I also included in the description that I hadn't tried to launder the dress yet, so that it may just come out with some OxiClean in the wash on delicate cycle because it is polyester. So yeah, so that sold for, like I said, $19.99. I would have listed it higher if it didn't have the stains, and I just didn't. These days I'm so busy, I'm not doing a lot of cleaning and stain removal and things like that. So I just listed it as is, and it sold within a couple of weeks for $20. Next, I wanted to show these because I'm not doing a lot of hard goods, just because, again, this takes more time to pack than just throwing a dress in a poly mailer. So I purchased these plates and listed them on September 16th, so they took just about a month to sell. I think I did look up the style or the pattern. So this is Mikasa Style Craft, and it's Blue River was the pattern name. And these were just small little like dessert or salad plates, but I really liked the design. I believe I picked these up for $1. In fact, I'm almost positive I picked them up for $1. And they were in very good condition, and I just kind of felt like they go with that whole like kind of boho vibe. We are seeing, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this or if if this is old news, but home decor we all know the boho and mid-century modern, that's always a thing. People, I remember back in the 90s, that was a thing. People were decorating their homes or designing their homes mid-century modern. I don't think that's ever going to go away. So that's kind of always on trend, so to speak. But this kind of had that additional like boho vibe, and we've all seen the boho vibe. Farmhouse was really big. I think that's finally dying out, or at least kind of that more trendy farmhouse, where classic farmhouse will always be a thing. But those weird like kitchen signs and Raid done and all that, I think we're done with that. It was overdone and we're done. But what I'm trying to get to here is right now, some of the themes that we're seeing in home design is still kind of like that boho vibe, but more minimalist and a lot more browns. So we're seeing a lot more brown, less of the beige. So just kind of more moody or, rust color browns, dark browns, chocolate brown, with the beige and all of that, but really pretty like deep, dark greens. So I felt like these plates also kind of fit that vibe. So kind of like 70s vibe, but still more towards the minimalist style. So I don't know. That was a lot. Look it up. All right. So those plates sold for $19. I mean, plus the buyer paid, I have it written down, they paid $12.55 in shipping. So well over $35 they paid for these 2 plates. I actually shipped these for $7.20, so I got a pretty significant discount. I don't usually refund because I know that I get a discount, and that is a perk or benefit of having an eBay store, buying your labels on eBay. And so I really feel that discount is intended for the seller. Some sellers will refund overage on shipping, and there definitely are times where when the shipping overage is so much, it's not because I received a discount, it's because the weight was entered incorrectly initially in the listing. Now that I always refund because that is that's an error. So people put in 4 pounds, but it was only a pound to ship. That's not right. I'm being honest with my buyer. I'm not trying to deceive anyone. But the discount that I receive as an eBay seller, that is a perk that I get for everything that I do on eBay, including being a top-rated seller. So, but some sellers I know do, they'll enter a lower weight. So for example, on these plates, they were a couple of pounds, but let's say I just entered the weight as 1 pound, then maybe the shipping that the buyer paid would have only been, maybe $8 or $9 versus $12. And then my shipping discount, basically it's a wash, we break even. So I know some sellers do that. So in other words, the discount is really going to the buyer rather than in the seller's pocket. And that's great. That's fine. But I choose to do it this way. And that's just kind of how I run my business. And obviously that could change in the future. But I just wanted to explain that. All right. Next, I wanted to show this dress. This was just a maxi dress. It was that very stretchy, like jersey fabric. And it kind of had this cool, like Aztec-y kind of southwestern print. It's Karen Kane, and I worked at Nordstrom years ago, and we sold Karen Kane. And the fact that it's made in the USA made me believe that this was vintage. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking this is from the 90s. But it was in great condition, but it was a little faded. And I thought that the pictures indicated that a little better, but maybe not. But let's see what I put in the description. No, I didn't indicate that it was fading, but when what I was going to say is when I went to ship this today, I was like, it's not really faded. I don't know why I thought that. So I accepted an offer of $20. This has been listed since May. We are now in fall. Even though it's a cool design, I just felt like, this is kind of something, it's not like someone's searching out, a Karen Kane jersey knit maxi dress. I feel like someone had to just maybe come across this. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and accept that offer. And I was trying to see if I wrote the shipping down, but yes. So they paid $6.40 in shipping and cost me about $4.88. So that was that. The next, this was a great sale. I had this listed for $100. And I listed this in August, so just a couple months ago. My average cost of goods, you know, is always about $4. When all is said and done at the end of the year, if we look at how much I spent, it's about $4 per item. So some items cost me $1 and some may cost me 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, it's just different. This vase was $1. I got this at a little local thrift store, and I was actually walking out of the store and I remembered that they had this bookcase in the corner with vases, and it's been there for years. Actually, I didn't see it last time I went, but I was like, oh, let me just check. There's never really anything great on that shelf. But you guys, this is the second time that I have found an amazing piece by doing that, by just walking out and going, oh, because it's kind of close to the front of the store. So that's what I did this day, and I got this vase for $1. I accepted an offer of $60. So $1 into $60 within just about a month. The other vase that I got from this same thrift store last year ended up selling for like $250. Yeah, I think that sold on Etsy. All right, so this was Red Wing Art Pottery. I had problems figuring out what this was. And my mom, who is very familiar with a lot of these makers, these pottery makers, she helped me figure this out, because at first I thought, is this, what did I think it was? I just drew a blank. Oh goodness gracious. Hull. I thought it was Hull, then I thought it was not Hull, another one. Anyway, whatever, but I knew, I'm like, no, that's not it. So anyway, we figured it out, and yeah, this vase is something that has a pretty good following. And yep, so I packaged that up very well this morning, and it will be going out to the post office soon. And let me go back over here. So I just wanted to show a few items in the larger window there, but I wanted to talk about some of my lower sales. So this Gap Wool Blend Tan Skirt size 2, it had pockets. It's very cute, very nice neutral color, great little skirt. You guys, I've had this probably like, I don't know, 5 years. And as you know, I'm going through and just discounting the heck out of my old items. So this was down to $6. And what's funny is I still had best offer on the listing, and someone sent me an offer for $4. And I'm like, okay, I want to get rid of items, but I need to at least break even. So I declined the offer. I went in and revised the listing, and removed the best offer option, but I kept it at $6. And the buyer immediately went in and purchased it for $6. So that was great. So they paid $6.15 in shipping. And I believe this was one of those that it was around $4 to ship. So, hey, I got rid of, oh, update, I got rid of 3 items from my garage. The other item is these Steve Madden black boots. These are in like pristine condition, never worn, and I accepted an offer of $20. I've had these boots for at least, I think, about 3 years. So I don't know if it's because they're just a size 6. I thought for sure these kind of equestrian style riding boots would sell. They had a cute little gold detail, but for whatever reason, they have just been sitting. So I went ahead and accepted the offer. The buyer paid $11.35 in shipping. And I was able to ship these out for $7.20 with my discount. So that worked out well. And, you know, I mean, if this buyer were to try to go to a department store and buy some nice black leather boots, she would be paying over $100. So she still, yeah, she got a fantastic deal. And then the Gap women's cardigan, size small. This was in a really pretty, like very dark muted green. I bought this at the Goodwill for $5. It's brand new with tags. I think the the retail price was $54.95. This sold for $23.99, plus the buyer paid $8 in shipping. And I was able to ship this out for $6.78. Next, you guys know I love my Chicos. I actually sent out an offer again because you know I'm trying to just move inventory. And these Chicos pants were just a size 2, so not really a larger size. And they sold on an offer that I sent out. I believe this was $17.99, and yep, and then the buyer paid shipping as well on that. Here's another old skirt. This skirt was just a black skirt. It had a slit in the front, and it was a size 10 petite, had an elastic waist, just kind of a midi length skirt, and it sold for $7.99, plus the buyer paid shipping, and I was able to ship this out for $4.69. The buyer paid $7.75 in shipping. So made a few dollars there. We already talked about these items. And the last item is this Uniqlo shirt. This was a women's size large. It was just this rayon, just kind of flowy blouse, buttoned all the way up. Just a basic black kind of flowy blouse. And rayon wasn't sheer, but, you know, lightweight. And I actually sold this for $11, and I think it was $11.79. Again, just trying to move some items. I purchased this just a couple months ago, and I don't remember how much I paid. I'm hoping I only paid $1 or $2. But the reason I pick this up is just because that was one of those brands when I probably a couple years ago that had a much better sell-through rate and sold for a little bit more, but the sales have declined, and I didn't look it up. I was just like, oh wow, I never find this brand, or I never have found this. So I kind of get excited when I see a brand that other resellers probably see quite often in their thrift stores, but because of my location, I don't find these brands. So I tend to get excited, and this has happened several times where I pick it up and then I get home and I go to list it, and I, you know, always do a quick comp just to kind of see where things are at. And more times than not, I'm like, oh, I could pick up like a Catherine's plus size blouse and get more, you know, so, but hey, it's still sold within a month or so. So that was great. So that is it, guys. Those were my sales while I was on vacation. So I will go ahead and record another video and get that uploaded. So please look out for that. That is going to be my California thrift haul. Have a great week, guys, and I am ready to get back to listing and posting YouTube videos on a regular basis. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. If you are, thank you so much. I'm super excited to grow this channel, and I really appreciate yeah, you guys subscribing and taking the time to watch or just listen to me while you're working. I know that's what I do. I love listening to reselling videos. I usually find that I learn something new just by putting a reseller video on while I'm doing my listing or shipping. I usually learn at least one new thing each video. And so I find that education really helpful in my business, and it's just relaxing to kind of just listen to other resellers. So anyway, that's it. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.